Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. So right now, I am in as a Leo Club advisor. Everyone should be familiar with this homepage of the Lion portal. A few things to keep note as I go through. I am in our test environment, so this is not going to be real data. This is all test. And you'll notice that the names that I use and they're all going to kind of say example because we're going to make sure we're as private as possible. Even if we're in the test environment, we're going to see test data. And even though we see test data, we should be able to get you through everything you need to see in relation to reporting service. So as a Leo Club advisor, I am two things. I am a member of a Lion Club, but I also have the permission to assist the Leo clubs in entering service. So if I navigate to the service option at the top of the screen and I select my activities, I'm going to land on a list. Now, these lists, I am in the test environment. It takes a little while to load, but I think even in production, when you're in live, I think this list takes a little bit of time. We have a couple of lists that take some time to load, and we are reviewing them as we speak. There's a current project going on. We're reviewing all the lists in the portal to make them all very consistent and much more efficient in your use. So bear with me while I am in the test environment. I'm going to let this list load. And while I'm waiting, I do want to call out that there at the top of this view, it tells you what you're going to be seeing. And if you do a drop down, you can go ahead and navigate to each type of list that you would like to see if you want to see your club activities, your district activities, or your multiple district activities. So once this loads, you'll notice that it's giving me all of the club activities for the last 3 months. I'm seeing it for my Lion Club, and I'm also seeing it for the Leo clubs. Now, since I said I am a Leo club advisor, if I select Create Service Activity, it's going to open up a flow. It's going to take me through how to enter this activity. And the first thing I'll note is that there are two selections. There is example for training, which is my Lions Club, okay? And then there's a Leo example, and that's the Leo Club that I am a Leo Club advisor to. It's the only one I'm going to be able to select because that is the only Leo Club that I am a Leo Club advisor to. So if I wanted to enter an activity for the Leo Club, I simply select it and then select next. Now the system is asking me for a couple of important pieces of information so that it can begin a form that I will be able to fill out in just a moment. So I'm going to call this activity webinar service activity. Okay. And I'm going to select the type of activity that it is. Depending on what you select here will depend on what's going to be required in that form. For instance, if I selected a donation as what I'm going to enter for an activity, the metrics area of the donation is going to require the amount of the donation, but it won't require anything else. So it might require volunteers. Maybe I will have to take a look, but basically it's going to require different information than if I put service project in, which would require people served, um, volunteer hours, and so on. So based on what you put here, we'll determine what's required. I'm going to do a service project and select next. So once the system creates the form for me, now I can go ahead and enter for this Leo Club. Notice over here that it is the Leo Club who is the sponsor of this activity. Now I can start editing this service activity. Notice it's in draft status. And I also want you to notice this report complete box at the very top of the form. This little box needs to be checked in order for any information to be reported to LCI and for it to count on your reports. So if I select edit, it will open up the form in edit mode, and all of my fields that I can edit are now open. If I select the report box, that's fine. I can do it right now. However, it'll stop me from reporting any information if my end date is not in the past. Keep in mind that reporting an activity means that it is completely done and there's metrics involved and it's completed and ready to go to LCI. So I'll leave that checked for now. Now I need to pick a cause, and we're going to say childhood cancer, awareness, and then you could put in the description of the activity. And here's my start and end dates. So I'm going to make this for the future. Let's say I make it for November 2nd and again, November 2nd. So this is being held on November 2nd. And I'm going to put in the people served. We're going to serve about 20 kids. There's going to be about 5 volunteers. There will be no non-Lions, and there will be no family members in addition. And then the number of hours we spent, we're going to say 50 hours. Now, those are the required fields for my service activity. Notice underneath optional metrics, these are always available to you. If you had also donated some money while you were doing the service project, you could certainly put it in funds donated. If you raised any money, of course, that's also available. And then there's additional details. Now, oftentimes when we're doing a future activity, we want to go ahead and put a venue in and maybe a start date and time, start time and end time so that people know when to show up. Because remember, any member is going to be able to look at these service activities. They just won't be able to report them. You can designate something as a signature activity or that you've received funding by LCIF grant. So after you're done with everything, you can go ahead and hit save. I will bring your attention to the fact that I left this report checked, report complete checked, but I made a future date. So the system will let you know to review the errors on the page and notice that future activities cannot be reported. Well, that makes sense to me. So I'm going to go ahead and take the report button off because I'm leaving it in the future. I'm going to hit save. So now I have an activity that is a planned status because my dates are in the future. I don't have any images yet because the event didn't happen. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my service. A couple of key points before I move on is, as I said, only members can create, but they can't report service. I'm a Leo Club advisor, so I could actually report the service if I wanted to. The other people who can help report service is a Lions Club secretary or a district admin. So what I can do is I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. And I'm going to log in as a club secretary. Give me one moment. Okay, I'll start sharing again. So now I am in as a club secretary. This is the example one. And if I wanted to just double check, I could go to my club. And you will see that in my club, let it load. I can come on down here. And if I look at the club officers, I can see that the club secretaries right here, example one, there I am, okay? And if I click on sponsored clubs, I'm going to be able to see all the clubs in my area that my Lion Club sponsors. And you'll see that the Leo Example Club for Training is also part of these same clubs that the Leo Club Advisor was just in as. So I could either go to that club or I can simply just go straight to my service, just like I did before, service and my activities. Because as a club secretary, I'm going to get that same list and I'm going to be able to go in and assist on the activities from this list. So here is the activity I just entered as a Leo Club Advisor entered for this Alpha Leo Club. So if I wanted to go, oh, okay, this, if we notice this column here, report complete column, is empty, meaning this has not been reported yet. So I can simply select this activity right from the list. And I can go in and I can take a look at it and say, oh, I see. This hasn't been reported because it's a future date, but we did just do this activity. I'm going to go ahead and change these dates to in the past because we already did. Okay, so now I did that. I'm going to save it after I report it because everything else looks good. Okay, everything looks good. I'm going to go ahead and save. So now this report is reported to LCI, and you'll see the status says reported. But I forgot to upload images, which can happen at any time. You can upload images at any time. So I'm going to go ahead and I can select to find activity images on my computer, or I can simply drop and drag them over. So I need to find where I located my images. Give me one moment. I'll probably have to pull over my personal image. So give me one moment and I will pull over I apologize. I'm struggling with finding the images that I wanted to pull over. It's my own issue here. I thought I had saved some, but I'm just going to go ahead and put my dog in here because that is all I can do. I'm going to drag it over. And hopefully it'll work. I know they were working on this feature. If you guys have used it in production, then it probably works just fine, but let's see if it'll take my image. Okay, I see them down here now. Okay, so I'm going to upload. And what I have is I have a preview image right here, which are just thumbnails. I can't really do anything with them. But what I can do is come over here to the image gallery. And you'll notice that I have two images. Now they look exactly like they were when I took the photos. I can select these three little dots to delete any of the ones that I want deleted. Or if I click on one, I now am in a carousel and I can scroll through the images as they're posted. I can also download each photo that I would like to download to my computer. So if you're not the one that took the photo, maybe you'd like to copy the photo down to your computer if you're looking at it here in the service activity. What's nice about having this little image preview right here is if there's ever a time you just want to kind of look at this activity, you'll be able to see the quick thumbnails over there to the right. Okay, give me one more second. All right, so that's how you can go ahead and upload images. Now, just because this is reported doesn't mean I can't edit it. So if I still had some edits to do, I can go ahead up here and edit it. Notice that anything that's open can be edited, and I only have the ability within this current fiscal year to edit it. That's because at the end of the fiscal year, we lock things down because we don't want to continue to get reports coming in for the new year for the past year. So once next year rolls around, 6/30/2025, Make sure you get all of your service activity entered before the close of the year. We are not sure if we're going to continue to have that 15-day grace period. So please keep that in mind as we move forward and continue to put service in. Service does not have to be reported at the end of the month. It could be reported at any time. You can go all the way back to the beginning of the fiscal year you're in. You could also enter it in the middle of a month. You could enter it anytime you want. Notice also up here, there's a copy feature. Now I am in as the Lion on Lion Club Secretary. So if I copied this over, it would copy everything, including the sponsor. So be careful of that. And then also I can delete. So if I go back to my service activities and I want to create one for the Lion Club, it would look exactly the same as it did for a Leo, except that I don't have the Leo Club automatically listed. What I have is example for club training. This is my Lion Club, right? So if I wanted to search for the Leo clubs in my area, I would have to type in the name or the ID for them. And I think the Leo Club was called example, or maybe it was Leo. Hold on one moment. Going to get my name right. And it was Leo example club or training. I can also use IDs if I wanted to select that. And now I have my Leo club where I can select it and go in and create an activity for that Leo club. Okay, I'm just going to close out. Everything would be the same as you just saw for the Leo advisor. All the activities look exactly the same. It's just which club are you doing it for and are they reported or not, how they can be reported. So I'm going to stop my share and I'm going to go in one more time, but this time I'm going to go in as a district admin. So give me one moment as I swap out the user for my district admin. Okay, share my screen again. All right, you guys should see my homepage again. I am now in as a district administrator. As a district administrator, I have the ability to help in service activity for all the Lion clubs in my district, for all the Leo clubs in my district, and for my district itself. And as I do this, I will talk about if you even had additional responsibilities, say you were multiple district. But we're going to go ahead in, as we started with everything, we're going to go into our service. Sorry, I went into the wrong thing. Service and my activities. And when I do that, my list is going to look very similar to all the lists before because I can see all of the clubs in my district, my home club, I should say, and any of the Leo clubs. So if I wanted to go ahead and create service, notice I now have these two radio buttons again. As a district admin, I can search for Leo clubs, Lion clubs, or my own district if I wanted to. If I tried to search for a district outside of my district, it would say I don't have it. The reason district is listed here, even though I am a district administrator and it knows I'm District 1J, is because if I was a multiple district admin or a council chair or somebody at the multiple district level, I can help any district in my multiple districts. So I may want to search for a district if that is my permission. If I were to stay in as a district admin and try to search for a district outside of my district, it should tell me I don't have permission. Here's my district 1A. I just kind of search for it and it tells me you don't have permission to do one for district 1A. And that's true because I am a district admin for district 1J. So with all that being said, I can also search for my lovely Leo Club, and I believe the name of that was Leo Example, what was it? Leo Example Club for Training. Okay, so if I go ahead and put that club in there, I can go to my Leo Club. I can also go to any Lion Club in my district. Either way, regardless of what I do, it's going to bring me to, I'm just going to select that one because if I had multiple example names, it probably would give me more than one, but that shouldn't happen in your within your district. So now I'm going to call this webinar for district admin service. So I remember the name. And then again, same thing applies here. I can pick whatever I want. I'm going to select next. And now I'm in as a district admin. Notice my sponsor is the Leo Club, and I can begin entering for this Leo Club. It's that simple. And because I'm the district admin, I can go ahead and, oops, I need to click edit first. Forgot about that. Or you can click these little pencil bars either way. But I'm going to go ahead and select, oh, I want to report it right away. I'm going to do childhood cancer. I'm going to select awareness and put a description. Now I'm going to make sure my start date is in the past because I want to report it. Act 28. I'm going to put in my people served, volunteer hours, or total volunteers, and volunteer hours. These are ones that are required. I'm going to hit save. Now, as long as I remember to put all the required fields in, it will save it, report it, everything else. If I wanted to upload images, I can do that anytime, and I can move along my way. So that's how a district admin would help the Leos, the Lions, any of the clubs or in their district or their own district activity if they wanted to put that in. Okay, with all that being said, I'm going to take some time and go through reports. I know that in the old system, there was a real nice view. It was almost like a dashboard view where you could just kind of see your metrics. We did not reproduce that here because we have so many reports that give you information. The key thing to remember is this report complete must be selected in order for any of the metrics to show up on the report. So please make sure that that the service is being reported in your area. Now you can start to view different clubs and different uh, areas that you're responsible for, sorry. And ways you can do that is you can go directly to a club. If I went, I think Elmhurst is also a club in this area, District 1J. And if I went to there, I could actually, on this club account, I could actually look right at their club service activities um, and, make sure, are they reporting their service? Let's make sure they're doing that. So if you are a district admin or somebody who's helping these clubs, you'll be able to come into their lists and see if they're actually remembering to report, not just enter. The other thing you can do is you can go to the data export. So if I go to data export, right now I'm still on the Elmhurst Club. So if I was to export this club service activities, it's going to export for Elmhurst. The way that I can get to my district level, if I wanted to see my district, is I can just select from the details page the district, or I can type it right up in here. Either way is fine. But since I'm right here with the link, I'm just going to select District 1J. Now I am on the district page. And on the district page, I can see a service activities tab. If I click on that service activities tab, I now will see a list of the activities in the district. Uh, doesn't seem to be pulling up, and I have a feeling it's because I am in test environment. So I'm going to go ahead and show you where we would like you guys to go as well. So Insights dashboard. I'll go back to the details list in a minute. the data export, I mean. So here is our insights report. This insights report has not changed. It is exactly as it was in the old system. We encourage you to use this report. Here under service, if you select that, you will start to see the various high-level accounts across the world. And what you can do is you can drill down. So I'm wanting to get to USA and affiliates. I want to get to multiple district 1, and I want to get to multiple district 1J. Scroll down. And I know this is small, and I think I can expand it. I'm not in these very often, but I believe I can expand it. So here are all the clubs in District 1J. And as you start to look at them, you'll be able to see how they're reporting, if they're reporting, and be able to reach out to them as needed. Okay. All right. I am going to also show you the KPI metrics. Now the KPI metrics, I'm in a test system, so this doesn't open up. So what I'm going to do is I have one open in my other screen. So give me one moment. I will see if I'm going to pull it over. And one sec. Sorry, the screens are on different monitors. I'm trying to get you to this KPI. Here we go. So you should see now the KPI dashboard. This is a report that has always been available, but in the past you needed a sign-in in order to get to it. What we did is we opened this up for everybody now. So if you select the reports KPI, you're going to get these options. And one of them is service activities drill down. So if I go to service activities drill down, and again, apologize for how small it is, it'll look better on your screen. Notice that it pulls open automatically this month. So if I wanted the whole year's view, I would go to July 2024 through October 2024. This allows me to see and break it out. Do I want to see both Leo and Lion clubs or just Lion? I'm going to say both. And I only want the ones in good standing, or maybe I want all. You can go ahead and filter however you want. And then I'm going to say view report. So now it's going to render a report for the full fiscal year to date. And if I go ahead and do the same type of drill down as I did in the insights, I should be able to get to my district 1J and be able to see all the clubs in my district and what their reports look like. Okay, so we encourage you to use these two reports because we didn't want to necessarily duplicate a lot of the reports we already have out there for metrics. Now also keep in mind it does take a little while for it to show up on these reports, but it should definitely show up within 24 hours. We do several different runs daily that gets the data that you're reporting over to these reports. So if you're seeing discrepancies or you think they should be showing something else, keep in mind these key pieces of information. The people who are entering the activities must remember to click the report button at the checkbox before they hit save. They also have to hit save in order for any changes or updates to be made. And then if you see the check boxes, that means they're doing great and they're reporting their service. If they're open, that means maybe they're missing a step. And that's really about it. Let me just double check my notes here, and then I'll probably be able to open it up for discussion. Yeah, I think I got everything covered. So I'm going to go ahead and stop share.